Hello fellow Star Wars fans, my name is Starrapter. Welcome to the channel. I'm super excited to give you guys my spoiler-free review for Star Wars Doctor Aphra, an audiobook original. So this one isn't out until July 21st, but you can pre-order it now wherever books are sold. I have a link to its Amazon page in the description down below. So this one is being published by Penguin Random House Audio. So like its predecessor, Star Wars Dooku Jedi Lost, this is a fully fledged audio cast. We have multiple awesome voice actors that are involved with portraying all these awesome characters that we see in this story. So Dr. Aphra, this is a character that was first brought to us in issue number 3 of Kieran Gillen's run of Darth Vader and has quickly become one of the most popular Star Wars characters, not in just comic books, but in general. You go to a convention, you're going to see Dr. Aphra's in cosplay. Hopefully we get back to conventions one day. But this story is something we haven't seen with Dr. Aphra before because she's only been in the comic book medium, but now she has a voice thanks to Emily Wu Zeller. She does an amazing vocal performance. We're going to get into that. But first, it's worth noting, of course, that this original story is being written by Sarah Kuhn. Now, there's many elements that are very new to the story, but some of you might actually find that some of this is familiar because it's going to weave through Star Wars comics, the main flagship series, as well of course Darth Vader series, and we do get a little elements here and there of Dr. Aphra to give some background to her character and some of the other side characters. So Dr. Aphra, if you guys aren't familiar with this character, she is this female rogue archaeologist that ends up working for Darth Vader. Yes, that's right, she works for the Dark Lord of the Sith. And there's so many awesome, cool stories that are told in the comic book form. And there is so much that is told in this format, in audio format, that is new to this character. We hear so many other things that is going through her mind because the way this story is framed is in a very brilliant way. So the story is basically Dr. Aphra talking to us as the audience because she is recording something for someone, and that is what's really neat about the story, is because we go through the events of she's retelling these death-defying events that were super exciting in her lifetime, and there is points where she's kind of embellishing things, right? She is also rewinding back the tape and redoing certain actions as she is telling them in her head and then speaking them to us. So it's very funny, actually. It's pretty much like fourth wall breaking. It really did remind me a lot of the Deadpool. She is almost kind of like a Deadpool of the Star Wars universe in a certain way. She's more grounded for sure. She's not a superhero. She does not have any kind of force sensitivity. She just gets by on brains, brawn, and a little bit of luck. She's kind of like Han Solo in a way, or even more like Indiana Jones in Star Wars. So what I like about what Sarah Kuhn does is she adds so many more layers to Aphra in this story. There's so much because she's talking to herself for pretty much this entire audiobook. We're peeling back the layers of what she is about. She is trying to make a name for herself. She's trying not to just be a footnote in history. She wants to do something grand, something epic, and that is why her adventure takes her to none other than Darth Vader. So that to me was really cool, seeing her relationship with Santa Saros, which is a big member of the Star Wars flagship series. She appeared in that series, so we get a lot of backstory about Aphra, her growing up at the university, and just what she's aspiring to be, which I thought was really cool. I want to talk a lot about the vocal performance for Dr. Aphra because this was a big endeavor, because this is a character that so many people love, and we've been reading this character for years. I've been reading this character for years and have kind of built up her own voice in my head because this is the first time we're ever actually going to hear her. And Emily Wu Zeller does a phenomenal performance. This voice actress, she has such a range about her, from being absolutely hilarious, just speaking in different volumes, of course, and then just changing the way her voice sounds to impersonate other characters as if making fun of them, but then getting into some really heavy moments in this story. The story is very much a very upbeat for the most part. It's got a lot of comedy to it. I haven't laughed as hard reading, or not reading, but experiencing a Star Wars story in a long time. But there are some absolutely devastating blows that Dr. Aphra goes through, and to hear what Emily Wu Zeller does in her performance for her voice is just gut-wrenching. She's got so much range, it's incredible. We also have plenty of other voice actors that are involved with bringing this story to life, and Mark Thompson as Darth Vader is absolutely menacing. We've had many voice actors that play Darth Vader in the past, and to my knowledge, I think he might have also been the voice for one of the other audiobooks or a couple of them, but to see him in this Doctor Aphra story where he's very prevalent as one of the main characters was, is chilling. It was absolutely chilling hearing him say the words Doctor Aphra for the first time. Like, oh my gosh. So many cool things were brought into this story from all of the comics. I think this is a really nice way for new people to experience Dr. Aphra's story, to experience the Star Wars comics, Darth Vader comics, and some of the Dr. Aphra comics, because you can experience a story without having to go and read the comics. I think they do it in such an organic way. Sarah Keelan writes the script in such an organic way to enhance all the stories that we've read. As me, as a reader who has read these stories, I got a lot more out of this. It wasn't just a straight up adaptation. No, this is an original telling of events that have happened in Star Wars history, but they are done with such a lavish way, such a masterful way, that it makes it so much more interesting the second time experiencing these stories. I think that the overall production quality is just so fun, because I loved reading Dooku Jedi Lost, as it was mainly in the prequel kind of era of Star Wars. This is set in the original trilogy. You're hearing those familiar blaster noises. You're hearing those TIE fighters. You're hearing everything possible that you could imagine from the original trilogy, up including Darth Vader's his breathing, of course, which is, of course, very menacing. But what they do with the atmospheric feel, you're listening to Aphra, she's in different environments, you're hearing different things, you're hearing the amazing score of John Williams put in such purposeful points of the story that, of course, enhance what is going on, really amp up everything because the music is there. But I'm just absolutely blown away by the production quality of everything, the sound, the textures. You feel like you're in these spots when when Dr. Aphra is describing these events to you. The only real negative I have for this story, and it's more of a nitpick, is, there is some curse words that are thrown in here that are very current age of our society, like ass is thrown in there quite a bit. So I think some of those might have taken me out of the experience at certain points, but it was one of those things that I just jumped right back in the story, like, okay, I'll let it by. So with that being said, I got to give Dr. Aphra a score of a 9 out of 10. I really had a lot of fun with this one, guys. I was smiling the first chapter I was listening to. I said, this is going to be a great story, and it followed all the way through. It adapted such materials, and it added a lot more to it than I expected. The voice of Aphra that Emily Wu Zeller gives is exactly what I had imagined in my head. It's just so good. And I need more stories with Dr. Aphra, and especially ones that are written by Sarah Kuhn. I think she does a great job of really understanding this character. I would love to see maybe they bring volume 1 of Dr. Aphra to life on audio form. And hey, maybe one day we'll get this rumored maybe animated series of Dr. Aphra. I would love to see some kind of her version on screen. I think that could be really cool to add some more flavor to Star Wars, whether it be live action or animated. I'm just so hyped, and this is exactly what I wanted. So what do you guys have to say about Dr. Aphra? Did you like this review? Do you plan on listening to Dr. Aphra? Have you read the comics with Dr. Aphra? Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I talk about Star Wars a heck of a lot on this channel, so make sure if you like this video, you can simply subscribe to support me here. That's gonna do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.